Go around on the right.
Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
So I found it. I freaking found it. This is Burkittsville, formerly Blair. It is a small, quiet Maryland town.
Much like a small, quiet town anywhere.
Those are the opening lines of what would have been the documentary the kids were making in the film, The Blair Witch Project. And in the film, the legend of the Blair Witch was all based around the small town of Burkittsville, which, as you can see, is a very real place, a very small town located just over this hill. And just behind this town, right across the road from this sign you see in the movie, well, not this actual sign, but a sign that was in the same spot, is the cemetery where they were filming those opening lines of what they hoped would become their documentary on the Blair Witch, which just happens to be one of Allie's favorite movies of all time. Certainly her favorite teenage movie of all time, which is why I've got her standing roughly, almost exactly, where Heather was standing, the main character of the Blair Witch Project, in the cemetery. Now, the cemetery has grown since the late 90s when the Blair Witch Project was filmed, but you can see this grave back here, these couple of plaques in front. You can see two of those headstones there, and most importantly, Heather's standing in front of this tombstone, kind of moving around. The camera's moving around, so you can see that in the background. She's standing right here, and she says, no more than 20 families laid their roots here more than 200 years ago, many of whom remain either on this hill or in the town below. And I find it interesting, she's actually looking off this way. That is actually away from Burkittsville. Burkittsville itself is just behind us. Over the cemetery there, you can see the spires of the churches. And by the way, there were Civil War battles here. We are just south of Gettysburg and all of that. But of course, we're not here for Civil War battles. Today, we are here for Allie and the Blair Witch. I'm having Allie pose in all the spots for the film. You can see Mike, who is the sound guy in the film, standing in front of this tombstone that says Arnold. He's just here in front of these other tombstones. It's all kind of in the weeds. It's all kind of very specific, very nerdy, but it's one of the few things Allie is truly nerdy about. So we're taking some fun pics up here in the Burkittsville, formerly Blair Cemetery, and then we're gonna look for some more Blair Witch filming locations today. Who knows? We might even get lost in the woods. It is interesting walking around this cemetery. Kind of hard to find them all, but they show so many graves in that kind of opening sequence of their documentary, like this one, Infant Pfeiffer here. And it's funny comparing the shot in the movie to what it looks like now. You have to get really far down low to kind of match it up. And you can definitely see that a lot of tombstones have disappeared or been replaced. And looking around here, we've noticed there are quite a few family names repeated. Arnold, Pfeiffer over here. There's a few Civil War graves in the cemetery with little like history signs on them. Blair Witch aside, it's one of those cool, old school cemeteries in one of those towns that's so small, you know there's probably a lot of people with these same last names still living here. I've just been looking around the cemetery a little more, looking for some of the tombstones. This angel right here, this tiny little angel, they get a very up close and personal view of. It's probably one of the more striking shots in that opening scene. The cemetery is small, but it's still big enough to be kind of difficult to find all of the tombstones quickly. There are a number of shots of tombstones like this, and they mention there being a number of child graves here. I believe the exact phrasing is an unusual number of child graves. And then they say, especially dating from the 1940s, and nobody here remembers anything unusual happening. And she says something like, but that's not what legend says. And then they close filming the scene here in the graveyard. And then actually, the next shots are of them celebrating that they've got the first scene done, and they travel down this road here, where you can see that hill in the background. It's the road actually behind the Burkittsville sign we started on. To many, it wouldn't be much, but to the few people that are obsessed with the Blair Witch Project, like Allie was over here, oh, they are iconic shots indeed. Ooh, I'll tell you one thing, it is hot out here in Burkittsville today. Okay, we are about to mount up ourselves because we got our first scene done. The cemetery scene is done. Oh, Allie just corrected me. She says the cemetery scene is shot. And head down to some even more iconic, in my opinion, locations from the Blair Witch Project. But to do that, we actually have to leave Burkittsville and head about an hour south of here. All right, well, we've now come about 30 miles south of Burkittsville, or Blair, to the parts of the movie that I really remember, the parts that really stick in my head. Here we are at the famous red shed or shack or barn. This is what they see just before they pull off the road to go into the woods. Dude, look at that. Wow, that is amazing. So the place we're at is called Seneca Creek State Park. It's a really long, skinny, green strip of woods and a creek that goes through a couple of towns down here. And this area, these woods, is where they filmed, 90% of the movie when they're lost in the forest, they're looking for the Blair Witch. And obviously the woods are pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Like any part of the woods could be any part of the woods, right? But there are a few iconic spots here that we hope to be able to visit. And this was definitely one of them. Now, how old were you when you first saw the Blair Witch?
I was 13.
You were at a sleepover?
Yeah, I was at my best friend's house at a sleepover, and her older sister was there with like 3 of her older guy friends.
Oh, older guys. Didn't you guys fall asleep during the movie?
Yes. Yeah, so we were trying to decide what movie to put on, and they were like, oh, you've never seen the Blair Witch Project? Like, like all this like crazy stuff actually happened. Like, you have to watch it.
Oh.
So they put it on for us, and then, yeah, everybody basically fell asleep. And then I woke up like halfway through the movie, and then I was like, watched it all the way to the end, and I was like, that's crazy.
See, now I saw it in the theater, and of course I remember the marketing campaign, like these 3 filmmakers were lost, this is just their found footage. It's the first real successful found footage movie. It changed horror movies forever. And I was the one, before we went to see the movie, I was like, no way, it's not real. You guys don't understand how the internet works, right? I was very internet savvy in 1999. I was like, this has to be marketing campaign or something like that. But then when I got in there and watched the movie, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't be too sure, right? Like the credits are vague. The actors' names are the real people's names in the movie. Like the character and actor names are the same. Like the actors didn't do any interviews or go on Late Night with David Letterman. So it was like very confusing. I remember being terrified of that movie. Like horror movies really get me, you know what I mean? So I didn't see that movie again for years and years and years. And when I did watch it again, I watched it at a friend's house in the woods during the fall. And it like completely freaked me out. Then I remember I went camping one time and watched it on a laptop, like out in the woods somewhere near Big Bear, and the movie totally freaked me out. Okay, so the red shed is here. There's a shot of them coming down the road towards the red shed, right? And everything. And then the place where they park the car before setting off in the woods is actually just down here at this bend in the road. See, there's just a little bit of dirt to pull off into. Most people now park their car up here like we just did. We just did a little photo session with our car parked over there, but where they actually parked in the movie is over here. The tree they were parked next to has fallen down. It's back here in the brush. You can see the telephone pole is actually ahead of their car in the film. So this is where Mike, Heather, and Josh parked before setting off to meet their fate. The irony is, although the movie is obviously not real, had they come here nowadays, they never would have made that mistake, because look at this, $125 fine for illegal parking, no parking signs all up and down the roads. We just parked for a minute, took a picture, and left. But that is where they parked the car. And then there's this amazing sort of ominous shot, if I can hurry up here and walk backwards, where the camera's kind of going away from the car. Ooh, perfect foreshadowing for the fate of our intrepid filmmakers. Spooky. Are you excited being out here?
Yes.
Come on, dude.
I'm so excited.
This is not all there is, because obviously they filmed all through these woods, and we're going to go into these woods in a second, because down at the end of the road, a little ways down. All right, so their first objective when they get out here to the woods is they want to film at a place called Coffin Rock, where supposedly they found people bound and tied, victims of the killers out here, or the Blair Witch, or whatever it was. And before they get to Coffin Rock, which is along this creek here, Seneca Creek, they encounter 2 fishermen who are down in the creek right near this. This is the landmark by which I found everything. I believe the fishermen are right down there on those rocks behind us. We're gonna go down there in a second. You can actually see this bridge in the background of the movie, but you don't really see this. You can see a little bit of the stone wall poking up above the trees if you know to look for it. But look at this old mill right here. The Black Rock Mill. It's like this incredible 3-story stone structure, and I'm so surprised they didn't incorporate this into the film somehow. I mean, I know they shot hours and hours of footage beyond what we saw when we saw the finished movie, but rather than shooting in that abandoned house that is now torn down from the end of the film, where you see Mike standing in the corner and all that kind of stuff, you almost wonder why they didn't shoot it in here. kind of incredible that this is just right off screen the whole time. Now, when I was looking around online, just in case we came here on this trip, it was very easy to find out where the fisherman's rocks were for all the filming locations videos and stuff like that. And this isn't my normal well-researched deep dive here. Like I said, we're kind of doing this on the fly. Everything I saw said that Coffin Rock is 5 minutes down the trail along the creek. Well, nobody says whether it's upstream or downstream, so we're gonna have to figure this out together and hopefully not actually get lost. All right, before we go traipsing off into the darkness though, let's go down to those fisherman rocks. Check it out. Ironically, I see a family actually fishing down there with a net. Oh yeah, this one's pretty easy to get to. There's a little parking area right here. In fact, this must be one raging torrent at different times of the year because I've seen a lot of fallen trees. All right, here's the rocks. Yes, dude, this is it. They are standing on the rocks right over here. I'm gonna have Allie stand there in a second. The way you can tell is you can kind of get a glimpse of this rock during the scene, and like I said, you can actually see the bridge from down here and part of the old mill. All right, Allie's gonna be brave. She's gonna walk out there. Hard to line things up perfectly because there's big old fallen logs over here, and I can see that some of the rocks here have either been washed away or eroded by the creek, but they're standing pretty much right where Allie is standing now. And of course they're asking, I'm like, oh, you guys ever heard of the Blair Witch? Like, oh, I heard legends about an old woman whose feet don't touch the ground. And then one of the guys is like, that's just a bunch of BS. We were watching the commentary a couple weeks ago, and it turns out that the younger guy is the older guy's son-in-law. So they just have like the perfect dynamic out here. Like the younger guy's like, you're just talking BS and all that stuff. They're standing right here, and it's on some rocks sticking out in the creek just like this, where we will find Coffin Rock. I don't know if it's upstream or downstream. We're gonna cross the creek and try upstream first. See what happens. We are going into the woods from the Blair Witch. Oh yeah, before we walk away completely, Allie just reminded me, this is where they say, damn fool kids will never learn. Everybody knows you shouldn't go up to Coffin Rock and you shouldn't mess with these woods. All right, so now we're headed back over the bridge towards the mill. See, I'm not an expert on the Blair Witch. There are several experts out there. There have been many good filming location videos, and everybody will tell you that Coffin Rock is very close to here. Like I said, nobody tells you if it's downstream past the mill or upstream above the fisherman. So that's the reason I'm being so specific about everything we're doing. Everybody says it's 5 minutes along the bank. You can see there a very old faded trail over the guardrail, and that is like kind of the only thing I saw written online. Over the guardrail and across the trail. At least Allie has boots for the mud. Wish me luck. All right, I made it across this little mucky part. Give me your hand. Jump across. Whew, okay. Oh, holy shnikes. Into the woods. Oh man, I wish I had one of those stick men just to move all the spider webs. I don't know if this is poison oak or poison ivy or what this is. I really hope we're gonna be okay. Oh boy. It's been requiring a little bit of bush whacking. Oy. No joke. There are so many thorns out here. I'm hearing Allie make a lot of very disturbed and upset noises. You look more scared than people did in the movie. See, we're across the creek now from the fisherman spot right there and just trying to make our way down along this clearly not very used trail. Oh, I should have worn long pants. Pray for me. I don't know if Allie's gonna make it. I genuinely don't know if she's gonna make it through all this. What's the matter? Scary? You don't want to go to Coffin Rock? Isn't it your dream? Okay, the trail has totally dead-ended here. They filmed the movie in October. I see a lot of people come here in the winter. It must be much easier to get through all this undergrowth here when there's no leaves on the tree, so we're turning back. What we're gonna do is go backwards to the other, more well-used trail that goes up here and hope that it comes back down to the creek. That might be a lot easier. Yeah, I got a leaf in my mouth, maybe a caterpillar, because it felt kind of wet. I've known Allie for a long time. I've never heard her make the kind of noises she's making right now in the woods. I guess it's easy to watch the Blair Witch on TV. Not so easy to come out and live it. Respect to those actors. Oh, look at this stick right here hanging in the tree. Is it a branch that fell down? Or the beginning of a new stick man? Did the Blair Witch put this here? This was sort of dumb. We were not prepared for this. All right, let's try the more established trail. See if we get anywhere with this one. This looks a lot easier. It looks like Allie will be a lot less likely to cry on this trail. You okay? I was seriously worried about you. least you're wearing the sweater. Don't touch that to your head. It's been a long time since I read my Boy Scout handbook, but I know the first thing... It's been a long time since I read the Boy Scout handbook, but I know you don't touch strange plants and then rub your hands on your face. Oh yeah, this is much easier. We should have done this first. Darn you, internet. Even on this trail, I think Allie's a little scared now. She's not a big fan of bugs, or being near bugs, or hearing bugs, or seeing bugs, or thinking about bugs. But 2 more minutes on that other trail, and I think we would have had that scene from the Blair Witch. Like, I think she would have been filming herself, and snot would have been coming out. I'm so scared right now. See, now this is what I was worried about. The trail's going up on top of the hill. It's still following the path of the creek, but way high up above it. We went down some side trails, got lost a little bit. We've gotten lost in the woods already a couple of times. Wish we had a map for Allie to kick into the... What happened? A bug?
I don't know.
Something. It's funny, Allie's grandpa is a hunt... What?
Bees.
Allie's grandpa is a... What? Allie's grandpa is a hunter. Her dad is a hunter. Allie, though, not as comfortable in the woods. Whew. Hot out here. All right, so right along the side of the trail, I don't know if you can see that, there's a bee's nest, bees coming out of there. But yeah, there's not been any side trails back down to the water. And Allie's deathly afraid of bees. That is her main phobia. She got stung on the head in high school, so I can't really blame her. I think we're turning back. I think we're turning back. Let's just hope we get back to our car. Unlike Heather, Mike, and Josh. Man, I think it's probably better to return. 1, when you can see through the trees a little better. 2, maybe with somebody who's been here before. But yeah, that was the hard part, not knowing exactly, not having a GPS spot for Coffin Rock. I couldn't find one anywhere on the internet. Granted, I didn't look that long. I told Allie, like, well, at least you went into the Blair Witch Woods, and at least you saw the Fisherman Rock. You know, that's kind of cool. I think now going back to Gettysburg and taking a bath probably sounds a lot more appealing to her than more action in the woods. Although luckily, if we do get lost and we never make it back to the car, Allie brought the book. You look genuinely upset. You look like your whole family just died. But she's got the How to Stay Alive in the Woods, and then right here, Heather Donahue's all-weather backcountry notebook. So she brought her props. She brought her sweater and even a little beanie so she could do the little crying scene. But I think you've already had your crying scene. Now, look at that. The bees were like the no-go, huh? The bees were like the stick men were for Mike and Josh. You're like, And we've gathered a few sticks. So hopefully Allie will at least be able to make a authentic stick man. And next time we'll try and come in the less leafy months and wear some appropriate pants.
I hate summer.
So you're not voting for her?
Never.
Vote for Pedro then.
Yeah.
Vote for Pedro. What'd you just say to me?
I said we went into the woods with my dad when we were kids, but we went on like trails and stuff. I just can't with the leaves touching me and I don't know what's on them.
Yeah. So bugs are your phobia.
Yeah.
I mean, bugs are your like killer in an alley with a gun pointed at you, even if they're like friendly bugs.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen you touch like a ladybug and that is it.
Yeah.
Maybe a roly-poly.
Yeah, I like those.
Okay, whoa, see? Yeah, she's not into, just for context here, I don't know if you can see that. Right there, lot of spiders, and like I said, we ran into a full-on beehive in the ground, and yeah, I don't think this is happening. I don't know if anyone will ever see this. Maybe Patreon, but I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I'm not laughing at your distress. I'm just laughing because it's funny. Because I could not find any information on this, and apparently it's because nobody in their right mind would do this, especially in the summer, and. Yeah, we got to come back sometime. I feel like if I at least knew exactly where it was. What? Bees. Okay, hold on. There are bees on the ground feasting on something.
It looks like a mouse.
Oh yeah, a mouse or a dead bird. Okay, go around on the right.
Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go around on the right. She saw these bees feasting on the carcass of something. I don't know if you guys can see that. She just goes, "Please don't leave me." And then proceeds to run away and leave me. All right, we'll see you guys back at the road. Wait, Allie just remembered something I didn't. There's a dead mouse in the Blair Witch Project. What did she say?
What killed this dead mouse? Witchcraft?
Probably witchcraft. Okay, so on the way here, by the way, everything went wrong. Like every filming location we tried to go to, we got sent to the wrong town. We were getting wrong directions. There was traffic, road closures. And then when we got onto Black Rock Road here that leads to this part of Seneca Creek, all of a sudden the car started making this crazy grinding noise. I had to pull over and get under the car, like way under the car, because a stick had got, like a big thick piece of stick, had gotten kicked up, like wedged into the wheel, like where the brake pad is and stuff. But for like a couple minutes there's like, oh my gosh, what if the car's broken? Like what if we're stuck out here and all, we're gonna have to call a tow truck? So I don't know. There might be something out here that does not want us to enter these woods or to go to Coffin Rock. Okay, I have a feeling Allie's gonna be 100% happier now. She's on the road. Let's get our debrief, our exit interview. You okay there?
I'm free.
You're free? You feel better?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the woods? What's the big deal?
That's so scary.
I love you. Well, I tried. At least you can, at least you know I tried to get you into the woods.
Sorry, I don't usually have a panic attack on camera.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Our attempt at Coffin Rock, spectacular. I mean, at least if it was going to be a failure, it was a spectacular failure, you know? Not just a little failure.
If I never have to cross another creek on a log, I will die a happy girl.
Okay, here's the thing. Just over the bridge, there's another trail behind a guardrail, and only said across from the mill. This is across the creek from the mill. And there's some big cliffs down here. I told Allie, what if that's Coffin Rock? She goes, I'm gonna be so pissed. That's not Coffin Rock, but there's a little cave area that looks very much like that, where Coffin Rock actually is. All right, well, now we're just wandering trails. It was Allie's idea. I'm actually surprised she went from full-on nervous breakdown to walking along the creek again. I asked Allie, would you like me to go down and look? And she's like, well, I'm already here, though. But then 2 seconds ago, she stops. Well, this isn't it. I think the witch is after us, dude. I don't think she wants us in these woods.
No.
I don't think she wants us to find Heather and Mike and Josh. Once again, though, mad crazy respect to the people who made that movie and were traipsing around out here in the night. Ooh, look at that big old spider on that Corona box. People enjoying some cervezas out here. All right, well, we're gonna head back to Gettysburg, I guess, and maybe watch the Blair Witch from the comfort of a hotel. Why are people littering out here so much? Coca-Cola cans. Let's just pretend this is Coffin Rock. You know, let's just pretend this is where Heather gives her speech. I know it's not. We made it! Yeah, off camera, we totally made it.
I just looked at myself, I look so crazy. My face is so red.
I was very worried about you the whole time. I was like, are you okay? And she just kept, what did you keep saying?
I'm okay.
I'm okay, I'm fine. And then you kept making noises. And I was like, oh my, we don't have to do this. I feel bad, it was her dream to go to Coffin Rock. I tried. Well, we went to Coffin Bridge and Black Rock Road at least. All right, well, the next time we're out in the DC area, maybe in the spring or in the fall sometime, I'll put out the word on Facebook or something, and then hopefully we'll find a guide, you know, and we'll bring a lot of DEET or, you know, Agent Orange or something, kill all the leaves and bugs. All right, well, I didn't quite want to give up, so Allie's sitting in the car, she's getting some AC. Back up by the red shed, though, there's that trail that kind of leads off into the woods, and what I heard is that if they had just gone straight there from where they parked the car, they would have ended up at Coffin Rock much faster and maybe not gotten lost in the woods. Like, I've heard ironic comments like that on the internet. So I'm going back into the woods alone, which is exactly what you want to do, right? And see if I can just see anything. This is the original way we were going, by the way, down upstream from the mill. No shade on Allie, too. It's a lot faster. A lot of spider webs. Faster without her. Dude, I've never been so covered in spider webs in my entire freaking life. Oh no, what's that sound? The witch? I decided to run. Just run down the trail, run into the spiders. Then maybe they'll bounce off faster. Oh my gosh. Oh, all these bridges look the same. I feel like I'm going around in circles. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Mom, Dad, I love you. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Oh, come on. Oh, thorns. Oh, geez. Thorns everywhere. Okay. Starting to see rocks along the creek. We'll see what happens. Of course, I found it. I freaking found it. There it is. Coffin Rock. See it right there? The cave she sits in is just behind it. Oh, okay, so there is a trail on this side. There is a trail on this side. And it does go along the creek. It does reach Coffin Rock, but from the opposite side. So, excuse me, we'd have to ford the stream here or find a way to cross, but there it is. I've got to bring her back here. I don't know how I'm going to convince her, at least to see it from this side. She loves this movie. Yeah, I totally found it. I think you could make it, you know? Okay, I'll come back. Sometimes you have your little setbacks. You got to backtrack a little bit, but that's okay. We found Coffin Rock, and dude, for the record, I'm gonna put a GPS. I'm gonna find out what the GPS coordinates are of this freaking rock, so that nobody else has to wonder for the rest of their lives. Okay, I just got them. I just got the GPS. You should be seeing them on your screen. I hope right now. Woo, right now. So you'll know if you're on that side. You're on the correct side of the creek. We were right the first time on that murky trail that we couldn't pass through, which I'm sure is totally passable in the fall or the winter. And now you'll know when you're getting close. At least you can see how far you have to go. Okay. I'll go grab Allie. I'll be right back. That probably was a little less than 5 minutes actually, but only because I ran. Again, wrong side of the creek. If we had different clothes or I had brought more shoes with me, I would have just risked it. Okay, ready? Right here. This little trail, right from the parking lot, right up from the mill. I just told Allie, you're being brave now. And she goes, well, I could be brave on a trail. Next time, dude, I'm bringing a machete. By the way, that tip has got to be correct, that if you come in from the red shack where they parked the car, which the road's right over there, if you just cut in across that trail, you would pretty much be right where Coffin Rock is. I mean, it's almost exactly due south of it. A little east, but due south. You did a great job. We're almost there. Almost there. You're so brave, you did it. You walked right through the bees. There were some bees, again, feasting on something on the ground. If they're hornets, yellow jackets, but they're not bothering us. We walked right over them. See? You're okay. At least you're about to get the ultimate Blair Witch payoff. I am so proud of you. You did it. Look at that. There's Coffin Rock right over there. Almost there. You did it. You're hardcore, Allie. You made it. Coffin Rock. You did it. And look how many sticks there are to make a stick man from. Come on.
That's it over there?
Yeah, that's it right there. Proud of yourself?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Gatorade bottles in that water down there. It's crazy. I'm so shocked that there's no trail over here, but everywhere we went, people are like, oh yeah, Blair Witch, you know? I always think of it as being this like insanely popular movie, because of course it was when it came out. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody's seen it. But I mean in terms of like going to these locations, and I forget not everybody's obsessed with the Blair Witch, like Adam the Woo or me or Allie. Allie said earlier she would never have met me if it wasn't for the Blair Witch. My friend Adam did a filming locations video of this. They could only be like 11 minutes long back then. Like videos had to be shorter than 15 minutes. So he's just cutting from spot to spot. I even asked him, like, was it upstream or downstream? He's like, dude, I don't remember. That was like 12 years ago, you know. But there you go. Well, the witch wanted us to make it after all. Thanks a lot, witch. Oh, look at this. Somebody's had a campfire out here. Okay, I'm sweaty now. All right, Allie's getting some of her dream pics to commemorate the occasion. I told her, I said, at least you're gonna have a great story to tell your children, and so this will be very funny a couple hours from now when we're in air conditioning and well fed. Now she's happy, she's doing a little Blair Witch dance. Okay, I'm still pouring sweat. Just did a little morning announcement video for our Patreon members, our Adventurers Club members. And I turned around, and now Allie has got her little Heather Donahue beanie on. She's taking some pics. And you look perfect and beautiful. Like, seriously, 20 minutes ago, you were crying. You looked all red and crazy. You happy now?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell us the story of the Blair Witch. You were over there. There were some older guys. You guys have to watch this video. You fell asleep. You woke up. Mm-hmm. And then?
That was just, I was like, oh, this is like my favorite movie ever now. And then that was in 2009, so
you just watched it over and over obsessively? Yeah. I've literally seen you go to sleep, like, watching the Blair Witch Project, the way other people would go to sleep, like, listening to James Earl Jones read the Bible or something.
Yeah. I would watch the Blair Witch Project and The Shining, like, over and over. So I was like, oh, what could I find? Like, is there any, like, secrets in this?
And you don't like the sequels very much?
No.
No. But you love that original movie?
Yes.
Best movie ever made? Favorite still?
Well, The Shining is my favorite.
Right.
My favorite found footage film, I guess.
Your favorite indie horror film?
There's a bee.
Where?
It was on you.
It was on me? See, and look, I'm fine. But now you got your beanie. It's very hot. I can't believe you're wearing a sweater and a beanie. She wanted to keep wearing the sweater in the woods, by the way, because I know some people are going, why is she wearing the sweater? Because she didn't want anything to touch her.
Yeah.
And
I'd rather be hot than have a spider on me.
Yeah. And then you blasted AC on yourself in the car while I was running out here, so you're okay now. Was it worth it?
Yeah. It's like shells.
Yeah, little shells. There was like crab shells earlier, so people have been catching crabs out of this creek somehow or something.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, now it's all cool. Oh, by the way, we got out here and off camera, I'm looking at this like, yeah, it's pretty deep and whatever and slippery and we don't have other shoes. And she goes, I think we could make it. You little psycho. So now you're brave.
I could do this, but if
water?
If you put me in like walking through a bush, I can't do that. And that's how you started us, so.
It's not my fault. I didn't have the GPS. I've got the GPS now. So you can at least come and look at Coffin Rock from the wrong side of the creek. Or if you're braver than us, you can go on the other side of the creek and forge your way ahead. And there's a little cave just over there. It's not really a cave, more like a little dent in the rock right here, where she sits there and she reads the legend of Coffin. What is the legend of Coffin Rock quickly? She's like saying they came out here, search parties came out to find men.
I think she says they came out here prepared to find deaths, but what they found was a desecration of man.
Wow. That's a good memory on you.
I think she says that they found the bodies of the men like with their hands and feet tied, and then when they left and came back, they were gone. Yes.
And so that was the first disappearance of the townsfolk of Burkittsville, which is 30 miles away. Deceptive filmmaking there. All right, so there we are, Seneca Creek State Park. Now, I've heard that if you go up the hill and into the trees, people have found where the stickmen were in the pine trees, and a lot of people are like, these are from the movie. There's no way they're from the movie because the twine would have broken, but there's people who have put stickmen there, people have camped up there. Somebody even said they found one of the campsites. I know there's a couple of experts out there. I know Adam knows some of them. So if we ever come back, we're definitely getting a guide. We're going to find someone to guide us next time, and we'll come in better weather. Either fall or spring, sometime when it's not so lush out here with bees.
Like a bee suit or something.
Yeah, these are just like sand bees, by the way. These aren't the same bees. You're okay with those.
Those are okay.
They're not going to stink. Those are okay, she said. They're not good.
No.
No. So you happy now?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at the difference right there. I can't believe it. We were lost in the Blair Witch Woods, but now we are found. We found Coffin Rock. But you know what? They found Coffin Rock too. And then look what happened. All right, the sun is going down. It's getting awfully low. Maybe it's time for us to head back. This is not our normal adventure. When I do something like this normally, not that we're far off the road or anything, and you can just go right downstream in the middle of the creek if you needed to and find the bridge. It's not like that kind of prepared, but normally I like to be way more prepared. I like to find some GPS coordinates, and even though I have had to search for lots of filming locations in my life, it's been a long time because there's so many websites, so many vloggers out there, so many people finding these places. Normally, you'll find a list of just GPS coordinates and addresses, but for whatever reason, Coffin Rock, maybe it's out there, but I have never found it. I even asked ChatGPT, which I absolutely hate. I went and signed up for that just to ask, the heck? And it was like, there are no known published GPS coordinates for Coffin Rock, blah, 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 but we found it. So you just come upstream a little bit from the mill. It was only about 5 minutes from that trail, from that little parking area. You're on the wrong side of the creek, but there it is. Coffin Rock. Let's get out of here before we're bound hand and foot. Well, if we don't get poison ivy, that turned out great in the long run. Sometimes you just got to stick it out, I guess. Okay, well, we made it back to the car and it's not covered with leaves, so we didn't get time warped into another time. One of the big theories of the Blair Witch, that they went back in time. I don't see any missing posters with our faces on them, and that's always a good day. All right, well, that is it for us. If you'd like to support some future adventures, like I always say, randomland.com has all the links. Patreon, you can find my book, you can get a sweet Randomland hat and all that kind of stuff. I don't normally quit this early, but man, I think today we've done our duty. Happy, girl? Yeah. Okay, a little traumatized, but happy. All right? Yeah. You've done your duty too. We can go home and sleep well. At least to me, because I haven't watched the film 700,000 times the way Allie has. But to her, each one of these spots is iconic.
I wonder which room it was.